what ends up happening is that Viking Press, the publisher, works with Marable, and I think over time, since we published the book, even more was done by Viking Press and its lead editor, Wendy Wolf, than Marable himself, in creating a product, a brand, using the Malcolm X brand to sell a new product. And this new product is not really, again, as brands do, meant to give you who Malcolm X really was, but to give you a version of Malcolm X that will take you away logically from what he represented into some new space. So to do that, they want to create a bestseller so they can make all this money and pay out all these sums of funds and advances, whatever, to Marable and his staff, and then mostly to the editors and the publishing house itself. But so that to do that, they have to make a product that is accessible to an audience that makes books, best-selling books, which is white, mainstream, middle class, or affluent readers. So to get that audience to buy a book about Malcolm X, you have to create a version of Malcolm that never really existed, because the one that really existed is Wendy Wolf, the publisher, the head editor for the publishing house, Viking Press, said in her own words in a presentation she gave. The real Malcolm X scared her. So in other words, in order to create a product that is not scary to her own audience, you have to do a number of things, and then I'll wrap it up here, which is primarily you have to attack the idea of nationalism and what nationalism means. You have to attack the idea, all the other ideas that Malcolm was working with and associated, which would include nationalism, Pan-Africanism, socialism, armed struggle, radical electoral political movements, that is, using black votes to collectively vote not for the reigning Democratic Party appointee, but actual other, well, as he said in his own words, people from the community who would represent the community to the best of their ability, as opposed to top-down, handed-down politicians sponsored by Wall Street who are promoted heavily that we then go and vote for. That was not what Malcolm was saying. So all of these ideas have to be attacked, and they are attacked, and I'll stop here in a moment, we can talk all about it, but those ideas are attacked through this 600-page book that Marable produced. Consistently. So the attacks on Garvey and the Garvey movement, the attacks on Kwame Nkrumah and what he represented in terms of Pan-Africanism and socialism, attacks on the ideas of armed struggle, a complete rewriting, and I and others have identified where Marable literally truncates, that is, cuts off pieces of Malcolm's statements and refashions them, fashions them to support a point about the use of the vote and other things that are completely antithetical or in opposition to what Malcolm was actually saying. All of this to produce a document that in the post-Obama era would be something that would position, and this was really, and I'll stop here, where I primarily found the flaws in this presentation, that would position Barack Obama as the logical conclusion of what Malcolm X represented. To say that this moment that we have now with Barack Obama is the moment that Malcolm and others like him presaged or prefaced.